When I had the opportunity to walk into Frank's office, it was before I'd been to law school. It was before I knew anything really about Frank, other than from talking with friends and family and doing some research. He was one of the best trial lawyers in Arkansas, and I knew I wanted to be a trial lawyer. Even though I hadn't been to law school yet, I knew that's something I wanted to do. So when I sat down here, we're in his office right now, and I sat down in his office, and he said, well, what can you do? I said, nothing at all, but I'll work for nearly nothing, minimum wage, and you can, I'll do the plants begonias. And he said, well, that's fine. He said, what do you really want? I said, well, I just want you to take me wherever you go. And since that time, that was in 2003, Frank's taken me everywhere he's gone. I mean, all through law school, Frank had multiple trials while I was in law school, and he took me to every one of those trials. And it's really been a father-son type relationship. Frank has not held back any knowledge. He shares freely with me. And he has spent a tremendous amount of money training me and educating me, sending me to all of these national seminars, so that I can come in and become a part of his practice. And throughout that process, there are some things about Frank that I think are critical that distinguish him from other lawyers. One of those things is he gets to know his clients at a level that I didn't think lawyers did. I didn't think that lawyers really, went over to clients' homes and had dinner with them, spent hour upon hour with their clients. And the amount of time that Frank spends with his clients is something that even shocked me. It's something that he's instilled upon me to do now. Another thing that Frank has taught me that I think it really sets the standard for our practice, and that is just because he's an attorney who's well respected, has won all of these big awards, has been on the appointed to the Supreme Court by the governor, recognized as the outstanding trial lawyer of the year just last year. I mean, we're talking about some of the best awards you can have. Yet he gets down and does the grunt work himself. He's not too good to get out and do what I see other lawyers, quite frankly, won't do. They think it's maybe below them to file, or below them to run to the police station to pick up a police report, or below them to get out here and work and plant flowers, or work in the landscaping. And that's really a humbling experience too, which that leads me into the next thing that Frank has taught me is no matter how successful we have been, or the awards that he and I have been honored to receive, is humility is critical. If we are not humble and appreciative of the blessings that have been bestowed upon us, then that old head swells up and we forget who we are. And Frank is always preaching to me about humility and being thankful for what we have. The last thing I want to talk about Frank, and if you notice, my story is a little bit different than Frank's story. It's because of our relationship so much different. As he looks at me as the youngster, the son type figure, and I look up to him, and he teaches me more than I get to teach him because he has so much more experience. But in the mentor-mentee relationship that he and I have, he has constantly reminding me, forcing me to put an emphasis on family. And I have a wonderful wife that I think the world of, and a little girl who's 2 years old, one on the way. And the tendency is, particularly in our practice, is to take all of this time away from our families because I travel so much. I work so many hours just for our client. And Frank is always telling me, more instructing me, you go home and spend time with those girls because family is the most important thing. Family's what matters. Family, family, family. And I do that. It's harder when I'm young, but I'm starting to recognize the value in it. But if you can I don't know, I feel like I'm rambling somewhat, but if you can take those family values that he instills upon me and he applies it to our everyday practice, it goes to show how our clients become a part of our family and we work that much harder for them.